What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Auto Auction Rebuilds. Today we are back with another purchase, and this one is not going to make any sense to you at all until I explain it. This is my 2014 Toyota Prius. Yeah, I know, right? A Toyota Prius, but it's not just a Prius. This is a Prius C. This is like a commuter car. I don't even know what the C stands for. Is it for city car, commuter car? Basically, it is a mini-me of the regular Toyota Prius. Obviously, it is a hybrid, and it's got an electric motor, and it's got batteries, and it even has a mode dedicated to EV, so you could drive it without the gasoline engine, just like an electric vehicle. Yes, it has an electric motor, just like a Tesla, except it's not like a Tesla at all. It has batteries like a Tesla, except it's not like a Tesla at all. But it's supposed to get really good fuel economy with its 99 horsepower combined. I don't know, guys, but I bought this little yellow banana car for a very specific reason. It's relatively reliable 1.5 liter 4-cylinder engine. This vehicle should be able to get 53 miles a gallon in the city and about 46 miles a gallon on the highway, and that's why I bought it. I've had Priuses from previous generations. I've actually had a few of them on the channel, and while they're decent cars, the 1.8 liter is, I don't care what any Prius owner says, they are relatively unreliable. People talk about Teslas being unreliable. Guys, I've got a Tesla with 300,000 miles on it. Needs a little work, but it's definitely reliable. These cars, the regular Priuses with the 1.8 liters, guys, just do a search online and you will quickly find tons and tons of people with engine failures. Not to mention stator failures. Those are pretty expensive. Battery failures, those are also pretty expensive. Yes, if a battery goes bad in a Prius, you're going to be looking to spend somewhere around $4,000 to $5,000 to have it repaired. And if the stator goes out, you're going to be looking about the same price because it's inside of the transmission, if you can even call it that. They're CVTs nowadays. This one included has a CVT. You guys know how much I hate CVT transmissions. But I bought it because I wanted to do a direct comparison between a Toyota Prius, which is the best selling hybrid vehicle in America, against the Tesla, which is the best electric selling vehicle in America. So we've got two competitors going head to head that typically would never compete against each other. But I had an idea. It occurred to me the other day, and I said, I want to race Monkey Wrench Mike approximately 1,300 miles, maybe a little over, 1,300 to 1,400 miles to Indiana and back. I'm going to do a head-to-head comparison using this car, which has like 92,000 miles on the odometer. And by the way, this is a Prius C4. This is as good as it gets. This is as optioned out as you're going to get one of these little city commuter cars. And we're going to see who can get to Terre Haute, Indiana from Oklahoma faster. Not only are we going to race to see who gets there faster, but then we're going to compare our ride quality. Which car rode better? I bet you can already guess the answer to that one, but that's not all. There's other metrics involved as well. And one of the biggest ones is how much did it cost each vehicle to get from Oklahoma to Indiana and then Indiana back to Oklahoma, and how much more time did the Tesla take? Because we all know the Tesla is going to be slower. It has to be because you have to stop to charge. This car gets, at a minimum on the highway, it should be getting 46 miles a gallon. And by the way, I got a pretty good deal on this, even though you'd be surprised to know this car actually costs more than my Tesla. That's right, this yellow banana of a car was $9,800, exactly $2,000 more than I paid for a 2013 Tesla Model S Performance P85. That's right, a Performance 85 with 269,000 miles on the odometer was $2,000 less than this 2014 Toyota Prius C with 92,000 miles on the odometer. Yep, it's hard to believe that I could buy a Tesla for less than I could buy a Prius, but I figure they're very similar in year. The Tesla's a 13, this is a 14, and Well, this is a hybrid and a Tesla's electric. So which one is going to win? Well, time will tell. So now that you know my reason for buying this car, let's focus a little bit more on the car. I know it's a loud yellow color, and I bought it for a reason, because Monkey Wrench Mike bananas are yellow. I'm kidding. I'm not going to make him drive this car. We're going to do it in a fair fashion. We're going to flip a coin. I'm going to let Monkey Wrench Mike call it in the air. And whatever it is, well, that'll be the car he drives. But to keep it fair, we're going to switch cars. Once we get to Indiana, we will switch, and I will drive a different car, he will drive a different car, and then we will both have an even experience of driving both of these vehicles. And I think at the end of the video, it'll make us very, very capable of telling you clearly and concisely exactly what we love and or hate about each one of these cars. Now, this car has, for a Prius, like I said, this is about as loaded as you can get. It does have the fake leather or pleather interior, and that's about it. Everything is, look, it's plastic everywhere. It's all plastic. But I'll give it credit where credit is due. It's actually quite comfortable in the interior. And these leather seats, or fake leather seats, they're actually very soft and supple. They're unbelievably comfortable. I'm going to tell you, the seats are very comfortable in this car. It's just getting over all the... It's just plastic absolutely everywhere. And some things that just don't make sense. Like over here by the handbrake, we've got your seat heaters where you can't hardly see them, you know, for left and right. Eco mode, it's a Prius. Isn't eco mode, like, isn't it always in eco mode? I don't know. EV mode, that's one I haven't tried yet, but apparently if you push that button, you can drive around in electric mode for probably 2 miles tops. I doubt you're going to go very far in EV mode. Of course, an old school transmission shifter. I like that with this blue. I think that's really, really nice as well. It's, you know, decent, but again, it's a CVT transmission, and I hate those. You have 2 cup holders. This one is actually bigger than this one, and you have more room for like a big gulp on that side. This side, you're not going to fit a very big cup because you run into this. There's a little cubby hole down here that you could use for, I don't know, something like that. Over here, we have, looks like a USB and an aux port. That's kind of nice. You got your climate control down here, and you have this wonderful, amazing Toyota screen. Great technology right there. It comes with the books. And it's from Liberty Toyota, which apparently is in New Jersey. So, yeah, this is where it, came from. And you got a cigarette outlet right here. Oh, they don't call it that anymore. They call them power points or whatever. So, yeah, there's that. It is push to start. Right here, you've got some buttons up here on the steering wheel. Over here, you have display and temperature up and down, recirculate, on and off for the cabin, trip and display. I guess that's all you get there. Over here, telephone calls, voice activated if you're going to tell the car to do something. These are going to be audio controls, channel up and down, mode, and volume up and down. Over here, you have wipers, and that's for the rear. And then these are the intermittent wipers right here. It's hard to get a good, it's so oddly, anyway, intermittent wipers, wipers on, off, and mist. And then pull forward for your wipe washers. Over here we have, can I get you in there even? It's kind of hard to see, but daytime running lights, headlights off, daytime running lights, headlights and parking lights, and then of course fog lights right there as well. I love the fog lights, so we'll leave those on. You have power mirrors over here, which I guess is kind of nice, right? And your dimmer for the dashboard. Of course, on the door we have, well, the window lockout, power locks, and power windows. And yes, all of the windows work. Spoiler alert, I've been driving this car for, well, like a week now, and I've actually already put close to 400 miles on it. So I already know this car inside and out. The oil was recently changed, so thankfully I don't have to mess with that. The oil is freshly changed. Let's go ahead and fire it up. Yeah, it's running. That's it. It's literally running. Yeah, you don't hear anything. You've got to actually hit the gas pedal. and then it'll fire up. And then when I let off the gas pedal, it'll probably die again. Now, it's got this little screen that shows you, look, we're charging the battery. All right, and you'll notice you have a battery, because I already know there's people that are going to say Tesla's, the Prius doesn't have an electric motor. It does. It does have an electric motor. You've got your battery pack there, your electric motor there, and then your gasoline engine. In both of these, and individually or combined, they can drive the front wheels of the car, which is really nice. You've got the heat and air conditioning, both work properly. The heated seats work. Basically, everything works in this car. There's nothing wrong with it that I can tell. And there's your screen right there. If you see some yellow lights over there, that is passenger airbag off. That's supposed to be on when there's nobody in the seat. When you put somebody in the seat, the airbag light says passenger airbag on. As you can see, window works. It's supposed to die like that. I know it's very strange. But this does have the 1.5 liter 4-cylinder engine, which I prefer over the 1.8 for so many reasons. Like I said earlier, you could go online and find several, but the engines in these things are notoriously junk, and that is because they have piston ring gap issues, causes them to consume too much oil, foul out spark plugs, foul out the EGR cooler, which overheats the cylinder head, usually on like cylinder 4. You end up with popped head gaskets from the head gaskets trying to combust liquid antifreeze. You end up with bent rods. You got rods thrown through the block. I mean, these things are just... The 1.8s are not the way to go, in my opinion. You're going to get a lot more power. I think the 1.8s put out like 121 horsepower, so you're going to get a lot more out of them. But what's great about this is you have this giant inverter, you have your transaxle, your CVT, and you have the electric motor. And believe it or not, the electric motor actually provides a lot of help to this engine. This engine is not usually doing a whole lot of work, so I feel like the 1.5 is a better way to go, because the motor is doing more work and it's saving the engine a lot of strain. Now, that's about all there is to see under there. You've seen the car. The only thing really left to do is take it for a drive. It's got matching General tires. They all have good tread. It has the sunroof as well. It's been dealer maintained its entire life. So, I think we ought to take the little Prius C out on a test drive. Now, I shut the car off. I'm curious to see if it has proximity sensors. Will it unlock when you walk up to it? Nope, definitely not like a Tesla. Ah, there you go. It does unlock when you put your hand inside of the door handle, which is really nice. I mean, this is... I'm going to tell you right now, the ride quality in this car is comparable to... I don't want to be too mean to it, but it's really kind of like a Chevy Sonic. That would be the car that I could compare this to the best, a Chevy Sonic, as far as ride quality, wind noise, road noise. It's not a particularly quiet car, but what's different is these seats. I can't explain to you really how great the seats are, and look at the designs. I love it. I really love it. The seats are so soft and they are so comfortable to sit in. It makes up for the rough ride and the wind noise. All right, let's start it up. You get a nice little boot up animation. And what is this? Display trip. There we go. It's ready to go. Average fuel economy for me over the last 350 miles is 46.3 miles a gallon. And most of my driving, as you guys probably figured, is highway driving. So it's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. And I think this even has... Does this have a navigation? It does. No way. It has navigation. Oh my goodness, that is so outdated. Let's just stick to the radio. We'll leave that alone. All right. Let's see if I can get out of here without driving into the ditch. I think I can make it. There we go. Ooh, I'm close. I'm real close. We made it. We made it. All right, we're gonna take her out for a spin so you guys can see for yourselves what we got ourselves into here. $9,800, good deal? Bad deal? I bet a lot of you would never buy a Prius for this kind of money, but that's okay, because this is more about what I'm looking for. And I'm sure if I'm looking for something like this, a lot of you out there are considering it too. You know, electric vehicles are being pushed on us, whether we like it or not. Some places are already like outlawing the sales of new cars by like 2035 or whatever if they're not electric. It's coming. So my question is, what's better, electric or hybrid? And while the Prius may not have the cool factor that a Tesla has or other EVs, if you were to compare, instead of a Tesla against a Prius, how about comparing a Chevy Bolt against a Prius? I'm going to tell you right now, all day, every day, I'm going to take the Prius over the Chevy Bolt. The Bolt and the Volt, they don't have the greatest range. I guess the Volt is all right, but I think you're going to get a lot more reliability and longevity out of a Toyota Prius than you're going to get out of a Chevy Volt. So if you're going to spend your money somewhere, where are you going to spend it? Are you ready to go EV, or do you think your money would be better off put into a hybrid vehicle like the Toyota Prius? Well, we're going to try to figure that out in another video, but I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think you're going to go wrong either way you go. If you decide you want to go the route of a Tesla, I think you're going to be very happy with a Tesla. If you decide to go with a Prius or a Prius C or a Prius V, I don't think you're going to be too disappointed in those either, guys. It's one of those things where I don't think you can really go wrong. So my only question is, which one is going to save me more money? Currently, I bought a used Tesla for $7,800. I bought a used Prius for $9,800. So already this car has cost me $2,000 more than my Tesla. So the question comes down to, when it comes to driving these distances, which one is going to be better and which one is going to save us the most money? And I'll be completely honest with you, I have no idea how this is going to go. In order to figure it out, we're going to have to convert the Tesla's charging into real dollars along this entire trip and just directly compare how much money it costs to charge the Tesla on this 1,400-ish mile road trip versus what it costs to charge the Prius. And it's also exceptionally important to take into consideration the amount of time it takes to get from here to there and there back to here in the Prius versus how long it takes in a Tesla that you're going to have to stop to charge. Now, I have owned 4 Teslas, and I'm here to tell you that there's a lot of misinformation out on the internet about how long it takes to charge the cars. Mine is a 2013, so it's about as old of a Tesla as you can get. And I'm here to tell you it does not take nearly as long to charge as everybody thinks it does. One of the biggest benefits is that you don't generally charge your Tesla on the road. Typically, you plug it in at home and you let it charge up overnight. I have an EV charger at both of my houses here in Oklahoma. I have one at my new house and I have one at the buyer's property. So I can charge the Tesla no matter which side I'm on. The only time you should ever really need to use a supercharger and really have to wait around to charge is if you're going on a road trip. And yes, it can be inconvenient, but I'm here to tell you where people make their biggest mistakes is they're used to gasoline. When you go to a gas station, you fill up your tank. You don't do that with a Tesla, or you're going to be sitting there for 45 minutes to an hour. If you let the computer direct you from where you are to where you want to go, I'm here to tell you, you will find you may have to stop 4 or 5 times on a 600 or 700 mile trip, but what you're going to find is that you're only stopping for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. You're only looking to charge up maybe 20%, and they do that very quickly. Yes, it's inconvenient to have to stop and wait around, but thankfully, Tesla puts their supercharger stations near places that you're going to want to get out and enjoy what's around you. Whether that's food or coffee or whatever, a shopping mall, you can easily just go wander around for 15 minutes, come back to your car, unplug it, and go about your day. So I already know that the race is going to be won by the Prius. Unless something goes wrong, or unless Mike drives really, really slow. There's no reason the Prius should not win the race, but I think it's going to be a tough comparison between the Tesla and the Prius when it comes to how much we actually pay to charge the vehicles or fill up the vehicles throughout the entire trip. And that is also what I'm interested in. So if I'm being completely honest with you, and I am, I have no reason to lie, the little Prius is very comfortable. It rides really well. You just have to accept that it is a subcompact car, meaning it is very small. And when you have somebody sitting next to you, you are sitting very close to one another. Very close to one another. Like, very, very close to one another. However, the ride quality is absolutely great. It's nowhere near the ride quality of a luxury vehicle like a Tesla, but this is not a Tesla. It's a little subcompact hybrid, and for what it is a very comfortable little car. My biggest complaints so far out of this is it's too damn noisy. It is. You can hear the wind going over it, you can hear the tires on the road, the CVT transmission, that it sounds like it's puking or something, you know. But at the end of the day, this is a bargain basement Prius. That's exactly what this is. That's what the Prius C was designed for. And I don't even think they make them anymore. This was a car for people that couldn't afford to buy the higher optioned regular Prius, the bigger, more comfortable cars, more luxurious cars. This was to fill the gap, is what it was. It was to help people get the great fuel economy and the reliability of a Toyota Prius without the high price tag. And I think for what it is a wonderful little car, and I really have no complaints with it. The car's got almost 100,000 miles on it, and it runs and drives like an absolute dream. Everything works. No warning lights are on. It's been serviced by the dealer its whole life. What more could you ask for out of a sub $10,000 car? And the damn thing will get 46 miles a gallon all day long on the highway, and I have actually achieved 53 miles a gallon out of it as well doing city driving. It loves stop and go traffic. However, it does not love road trips. And we're going to be taking one of those very, very soon. Monkey Wrench Mike and I are going to embark on this road trip journey to Indiana and back. And we're going to do it in freezing temperatures, which is something both of these cars hate. Teslas also do not like road trips. They prefer stop and go traffic because both of these cars also have regenerative braking. That's right. When you really think about it, a Prius is very similar to any other electric vehicle on the market, with the exception that electric vehicles don't have this little tiny engine. A Prius is very close, very similar to electric vehicles, whether anybody wants to actually admit that or not. The difference is, in my opinion, I think Teslas are going to be cheaper to own. I can only speak on Teslas because I've done a lot of research on them, and while they do fail and things do, I have seen, yes, some of them have caught on fire, but guess what, guys? Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, they've been catching on fire since the invention of vehicles. It's not only Tesla. And yes, batteries go bad, but guess what? Hybrid vehicles have batteries too, and they also go bad, and they will cost you $4,000 to $5,000 at least to get replaced. If my Tesla battery goes bad, I can take it to a third-party repair facility, and they can repair the battery for about $5,000. So why more people are not comparing hybrids to electric vehicles, I'm not sure, because I think there's really something to this. Electric vehicles and hybrids are way similar, more similar than I think anybody even will want to admit. And I'm here to tell you, I am here to answer the question for myself and hopefully for some of you, which one should I get? I obviously have both. Should I stick with a Tesla? Should I stick with electric? Or should I stick with something more like this Prius? Well, we made it back, and I guess the only thing I didn't do is turn on the radio. And the radio, by the way, it actually rocks. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. This little car, despite its small size and its, rougher than I would prefer ride quality, being that it's such a teeny tiny little car, I really can't complain about it at all. Now, I don't know, if I was going to stick with something long term, if I were to make a decision and go, I am sticking with a Prius, I think I would probably go with a full-size Prius over this little city car, this little subcompact commuter car. Even though the bigger ones have had issues in their time, I think maybe the newer ones would be where I would go. I might land on something more like, I don't know when they changed the design. They changed them up in, what, 2015 or something like that, 2016, 2017, somewhere around there, they came out with the next generation Prius, and that's probably the direction I'd go, or maybe even newer, like a 2018, 19, 20, something like that. If I were to decide to go Prius, that's probably what I would do. I probably wouldn't stick with something this small, but if you're on a budget and you're looking for something that's around the $10,000 price range, I don't think you're going to beat this little car. So I guess it's about time for me to get out of here, but before I do, I wanted to do a quick walkthrough of the cars that I still have. I actually got rid of a couple the other day. We still have the 89, I think it's 88 Chevy Cavalier Z24. We unfortunately still have the 73 Mustang. Even though I had it listed for sale at Copart, it did not sell like I hoped it would. So it's back up for sale. I'll put a link to this under the video in case one of you might be interested in bidding on it. Because if it doesn't sell at Copart soon, I'm going to have to send it back to the dealer auction, and the public will not be eligible to buy any of these vehicles once they go there. This is my 91 Firebird Formula, also at Copart. Also did not sell. Unfortunately, it did not do very well. This car did, gosh, $2,900, and I was like, there's no way. It's so original and in such good condition. I put the new tires on it. I've got the factory WS6 wheels on it now instead of the crappy ones that came on it. It's got a beautiful interior. Very original car, and 104,000 miles, 5-liter throttle body injected V8. Take a look at this one real quick in case you haven't seen them, but I'm pretty sure most of you have. These are great cars. These are great cars, and unfortunately they're just not doing very well at auction right now. And here's the 87 Monte Carlo SS, and a lot of you have been wondering what's going on with this. I'm here to tell you I've been notified by Smitting Performance and from Monster Transmissions. Both are on the way. I have an engine that's like 485 horsepower and 490 pound-feet of torque, 383 stroker. It is on the way for delivery. It's being shipped to me right now. The Stage 3 transmission, the 204R, is on the way to me. I've already got everything from Holly here waiting for it. We've got all the new brake lines and hardware. This car is very close to going into the shop, being torn down, and it's going to be turned into a Power Tour monster. Next to this is my 2005 GMC G1500 Savannah. This is my Regency conversion van that we got for super cheap, like $2,600, and currently it's been sitting here. I haven't driven. I put brand new tires on it, removed the wheelchair lift, cleaned it up, put a window in it, and parked it. I said I was actually going to drive it, and I took it home one day. I enjoyed it, I brought it back, and then I wanted to drive more fun cars. Truthfully, the van is it's not very fun to drive. It's just a van, but it's great at what it does, and it's exceptionally good at sitting here in my yard. Just like my 1993, the last of the generation of this Fox body Mustang, man. 93 Ford Mustang GT convertible, lowered 5.0, of course, with a manual transmission. This one is going to be going down the road very soon as well. Runs great, drives great. I just don't use it. It just sits here, and I don't see myself really going to do anything else with this car, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of it. This is my 89 Mustang LX 5.0, 5-speed, brand new engine. It's got a new tune. We worked on the interior. We changed the coil springs on this to raise it up a little bit so it was a little more enjoyable to drive. And honestly, it's a great little car. It still needs a little tinkering, and I might get around to it. I might not. I don't know. Right now I'm looking at just selling it, and I can't tell you why yet, but I promise you, you're not going to be happy with me when I tell you the reason why I'm selling this car. I actually had someone stand me up today. A subscriber who has purchased a couple other cars through Copart got a hold of me about this, and he said, hey, I want this car. I'll give you $7,500, and I'll come get it today. So he had me come down here, and, well, I'm here. We're supposed to meet between 11 and 12. And it's pushing 2 o'clock right now. He's not answering the phone, and he's not responding to text messages. So I think the guy was just screwing around and stood me up. So that sucks. But this car, absolutely, I'm going to go ahead and sell it. So if you need to have this car in your life, hit me up. AutoAuctionRebuilds@gmail.com. I'm looking for $7,500. And I'll tell you right now, go ahead and look around on Facebook Marketplace. Look around for a Fox body Mustang from this generation, especially one with a brand new engine, okay? I mean, good luck. Brand new engine, flywheel, clutch pressure plate, underdrive pulleys, brand new cooling system. Like, this car has had a lot put into it. Good luck finding one for $7,500, guys. They don't exist like this one. Then, of course, there it is, the Prius. The 2014 Prius C with 92,000 miles on the odometer that we paid. What did we pay for this? We paid $9,800. We paid $2,500 for that one, which is absolutely incredible. And that one over there, I can't remember, but I keep thinking it was 8, 9, 10. I don't remember, guys. Somewhere between $8,000 and $10,000 is what we paid for that one. Of course, we have the 94 Pontiac Trans Am 25th Anniversary Edition with the Corvette LT1 engine and all the special graphics stuff. You get the white wheels with the blue bird. You get all the blue stripes. You get the blue on the side. 25th anniversary written all over it, embroidered. You've got the T-tops that don't leak. Thankfully, I need to clean this car up, but take a look at this, guys. It's been torrential downpours out here for 3 days, I think. It's been just pouring rain. This one's got 119,000 miles on it, and it runs and drives like you would expect a Firebird to run and drive. The only issue with this car is there is a whine from the rear end, and unfortunately, I do believe it's going to need a pinion bearing in the back. It's not that big of a deal, guys. If it was like an end-all type thing, I'd go ahead and take care of it. I don't think it's going to be a big deal to fix. It doesn't cost that much money even to have a mechanic do it. So I don't know. It's not for sale anyway. It's just sitting here looking pretty. And I think we paid $6,000 for this one, which honestly, I think I got this car very, very cheap. Next to that is my 1987 Nissan Bravo Echo 1, my little micro car or K car. I think this is actually a K10. I paid too much for it. I did. I paid like $3,900. Unfortunately, the video did not do well. Monkey Wrench Mike and I had a miscommunication, and he posted his video before I got to post mine, and mine came out a day later. So unfortunately, a lot of people already saw the car on his channel and did not watch it on mine. But with that said, it's fine. Nobody's mad. It was an accident. He got a hold of me, and he's like, oh my God, did I post my video? I'm sorry. It's cool, man. Accidents happen. I'm not stressing over it. I'm not sweating it. But unfortunately, the views, you know, they didn't do anywhere near what I needed them to do on this car. So we're going to tinker on this a little bit in another video. I'm going to get it running a little bit better, and then I'm probably going to send this one down the road. I'm going to be looking to get out of it, well, probably about what I paid for it. Next, this truck has just... it's killing me. I never drive this anymore. I used to drive this all the time. It's a great truck. I love the truck. It's my 2023 Ram 1500 with the e-torque. It's limited. It is decked out, fully loaded, and I love this truck. But if I'm being completely honest with you, I love driving this old crap. I really do. I love driving this old crap so much that I had to bring my truck down here because it was in the way at the other house in the driveway. It was always in the way. So I just brought it down here, I parked it here, and I left it. And this is where it sits. We also have my 1994 Chevy 1500 with a 383 stroker from Blueprint Engines, a 700 R4 from Blueprint Engines. We have 373 lockers in the rear. It's got a custom sound system. It's got 20-inch wheels. It's lowered, custom headlights, custom everything, custom sound system. Another great truck. Well, look, somebody's been over here drinking in my yard, I guess. So that's, at least it's not Bud Light. Anyway, beautiful truck. I love it. I have not driven this in God, I don't know, a week and a half. No, it's been more than that. I haven't driven this truck since I left for Indiana. That's been over 2 weeks ago. Wow. No kidding. Okay, yeah. Anyway, this is one. I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this too. I don't really want to, and I don't have to. It's just sitting here, and I'm thinking I'm about to build my Monte Carlo SS with close to 500 horsepower. I think there's no real reason to keep the truck and the Monte Carlo. I don't think. So I'll probably end up getting rid of this. I paid 10 grand for this. And I'm definitely, I at least want my money back out of that. Like, there's no way I'm going to take a dollar, not a penny less than 10 grand out of this one. And honestly, I should probably get a little something out of it too. This thing should easily sell for more than $10,000 with what's under the hood. And then next, it's not the last one, but it's the last one in this row, is my 1987 Buick Grand National T-Top car, 3.8 PFI turbo. It's a beautiful car, guys. Sorry, SFI, sequential fuel injection. I said port fuel injection. Whatever. It is what it is. Glass paint job. It's the best paint job I've ever seen on any of the cars that I've ever had. I would call this damn near show quality paint. Somebody sanded this thing down to a mirror finish. You can look at the truck. I mean, you can literally see the truck. Look at this. I mean, and I want you to see how dirty it is. I mean, this car is filthy dirty. The whole car is, I haven't washed this thing, and look at the mirror shine on this. The paint job is phenomenal. Brand new tires. I've got the Cooper Cobra Radial GTs. It runs and drives very well, but it does still have an issue with breaking up. When you first start getting into it, it just breaks up a little bit, but it comes out of it and then it drives fine. I put the factory original mass airflow sensor back on it. I put the air filter back over that mass airflow sensor, and you know, it is what it is. It's not perfect, but also, here's the thing. Look up how much Grand Nationals go for. You'll find these cars going for $35,000, $40,000. Between $30,000 and $40,000 all day long. I'm not asking anywhere near that for this one, guys. I'm hoping to get somewhere around 23 realistically out of this car. And hell, I paid $24,000 for it. And then I put a ton of work in it. I got sponsored, but what I didn't tell you guys about the sponsorship is I had to pay for almost everything. The only thing that they actually gave me free of charge was 2 wheels. I got 2 wheels free of charge, and I'm not complaining. You know, that's how sponsorships go sometimes. You know, I needed those wheels, and they came through on me, on those for me, for real. So I appreciate it. I think they gave me a huge discount on shipping as well, but like everything else, I had to pay for, guys. The mass airflow sensor, the Scan Master, all the little stuff that I got along with those wheels, that all came out of my own pocket. You know, I paid for all that, so the only thing really sponsored was 2 wheels. So I've got some money into this car, but I guess sometimes that's just how it goes. Now also, don't forget, I've got my 2022 Harley Davidson in the garage. At the house, I have a 2022 Ford Mustang GT that I bought for my fiance, and I also have my 2013 Tesla Model S P85. So I don't know how many cars that is, but that's how many cars I've got, guys. And quite honestly, it's too many. I'm ready to thin the herd, and I'm ready to buy some more cars to bring on the channel for you guys. I'm going to get out of here. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button and let me know. Drop your comments below. Consider subscribing to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, stay safe out there, everybody. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon in the next one.